Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, and welcome to my last video on games from previous Nintendo consoles, like on the Switch family before the direct focusing on Switch 2, Who Deep Dive. Given how the console has been Nintendo's most successful since the original DS, and selling roughly double that of the 3DS, as given how I did a video on the latter consoles games I want to see on the platform. It's only if I do the same for the console, especially given what certain patent applications are hinting at. So, and one gravel to myself would be no Pokemon games. That would be too easy to target. And also, nothing that has actually a Steam release Ace on the system, um, such as Hotel Dusk or Brain Age, even if the latter is taking a bit longer than I'd hoped to officially come to the States with its stylus. That being said, here are DS games I'd like to see on the Switch family. Let's get started. As one of several games that features like the Toon Link variant, which also has soft spot for, or reminded me a lot of the of the works of Ghibli. I mean the actual one, not just the ones being used by some of these obnoxious AI filters. I mean, someone beat me to who that one they were showing about roasting it. And with that out of the way, I think the locomotive of mechanic as well as the a specific use of Phantom Zelda, uh, it was one of the more unique installments of the franchise, which could benefit from having a new release on the current generation of systems. I mean, if you want to do its predecessor, Phantom Hourglass, I would not object to that either. I mean, I just think that what that game started on that scale, this one, I would argue, in many ways, is perfected. I mean, and not just because, like the cliche, I've always had a soft spot for locomotives of sorts. Speaking of handheld on installments that actually stand out among the wider franchise, there's a couple games on the DS that have been dormant for a while. I think I would appreciate seeing being re-released. I mean, or if not completely reworked. I mean, Sonic Rush, the action platformer, and the lesser known but still actually pretty decent, at least for my money, Sonic Rush Adventure. Her, on top of doing interesting things with settings and mechanics, a couple of the characters they introduced did end up becoming actually quite well liked in the fan base. Those being Blaze the Cat, a pyrokinetic like kitty from the same future her that Silver is, though admittedly she had a lot less pushback against her than Silver, and Marine the raccoon, who despite initially being seen as a bit of a thorn in the family's side, definitely has her defenders. At the very least, I like when she plays off the more straight laced members of the cast, hence the Metaconic panel with her and Shadow with a disapproving look on his face. I mean, and I still think that in the speed platforming mix, the best additions to that formula have actually complemented it instead of clashing with it. I mean, to me, and like, but it is kind of interesting to see like how even in and some of the more divisive games are not without out out some people who get some enjoyment out of them, and in the process give them a whole new kind of value. I mean, I still would make the argument that yes, the '06 game was was like a hot mess, but it's a hot mess that I have affection for. That makes sense, which is definitely something I'm considering as that game gets ever closer to its 20th anniversary. Oh, how time flies. On the subject of time, I think it's definitely a more than overdue to revisit is it an often overlooked installment of the Mario and Luigi, a sub franchise, as it's definitely one that I think that could benefit it from a re-release or if not an outright remake in the same level of quality they did with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door and the Super Mario RPG remake. Heck, I mean, even though Alpha Dream regrettably is no longer with us, a lot of the same developers made a new company, and Brothership also proved to be a relatively modest commercial success. That lower review score aside, I'd so I definitely would not be against seeing what is often called like Mario's Time Machine done right. It's with this title, I mean, where they form parts with the younger selves, and also the humor of these installments is very much appreciated. I mean, they went from being in the shadow of the classic Super RPG into becoming an entertaining and beloved role playing game spin off in its own right. So I definitely think the time is right to bring this one back. With the recent hint reveal that the first two Patapon games will be coming to the Switch family, like, that also got me further thinking that a another offbeat rhythm title, from the 2000s would be great to have on newer systems. I mean, they given how I know it was just like a one and done title, it never did become a major franchise like other games. But then again, that's might be why I found it so interesting and still do. And especially going in the free mode as well. Also, I think that with the capabilities these of the consoles, it could work, especially again in relation to the purported mouse functionality of the new Joy-Con and also other reveals for how DS titles could work on the system. Um, it will be very interesting to see what could be done with this game. Hey, I I'm not certain how active EY currently is. I'll have to look into that more. Or, but at the very least, it'd be something I appreciate. Hey, it's being brought to new systems. Of course, even without a full clear release date, at least yet, it's the update in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was easily one of the big highlights of the most recent and Nintendo Direct. Of course, the last one on before, or the one for the Switch 2 in its deep dive. And with that in mind, there's also still persistent talk about doing Metroid Prime 2 Echoes and 3 Corruption in the same way, hey, that they did with the first Metroid Prime. I'm If it's that level of quality on the remaster, I'm all for that. And that also just leaves the off one of the often forgotten installments in the Prime verse of Metroid games for the DS. I mean, even with the limitations they had, they still managed to craft a highly entertaining title, which even managed to do some interesting things with the different console and even the multiplayer mode and really into like the bounty hunter aspect of Samus's character. I mean, I definitely would not even object to just putting it on the eShop or some supposed Nintendo DS Online, especially since this whole playtest has been relatively shrouded in mystery, as all things with this company and this business often are. I mean, I tell you, even with leaks happening, the way they keep their secrets would be the envy of both Coca-Cola and KFC for their respective secret recipes. Alright, so this is now officially the last video in the series before the Switch 2 reveal. And there's going to be a couple more videos before that happens though, with my reaction after the stream happens. Just so we can see what they are, though. That'll be all for now. See you all again soon. Take care, everyone.